Well, good morning, collectors. Welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be a very different video that you see on my channel. What I'm going to do today, this is basically for the brand new collector or the people that want to start out collecting World War II items. So first thing I recommend, you can see on the table here, I got reference books. There's one on patches. There's one called Doughboy to GI. And here's a very nice one, GI Collector's Guide. And here's one, Helmets of the ETO. This is all about the M1 helmet. And if you want to collect Marine Corps stuff, here's a real good one called Grunt Gear. I highly recommend that you go out and spend your money on reference books before you buy anything, because it is very important to know what you're doing and what you're going to buy. All right, now on this one, the one I just told you about, Doughboy to GI. It's got everything in there from clothing to field gear, weapons, bayonets, personal equipment, tents, pup tents, sleeping bags, and right here it has a color plaques of the patches. Just a couple pages there. Army, Marine Corps, and Army Air Corps. Now what I did, I took my printer and scanned each page of these patches, and I stapled them together. And when I go to shows, I always carry this around with me, and when I get a patch, I'll just like highlight it or check it off. And this is another good book on patches. It's U.S. Military Shoulder Patches of the Armed Forces, 4th edition. A friend of mine loaned me this book years ago, and I scanned off each page. So I got my own copy. And this lists World War II, and it's got State Guard patches, National Guard patches, U.S. Army Logistical Commands, post-World War II patches, and just up to the modern day stuff. But like I say, you need to know what you're buying. Now, I have some patches I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you how to tell the difference between a World War II patch and a post-World War II patch. All right, here's my World War II patches. This one here is post-war. I'll show you the difference here in a second. On these patches, they're cut edge. They don't have a marl edge on them, what they call them. And there's a lot of white cotton thread on the backing. That's what you want to see. You want to see a lot of white backing and what they call cut edge to be a true World War II patch. This is a Marine Corps one. See all the white backing that has? It's also a cut edge. U.S. Army 4th Infantry Division. A lot of nice white on that and those. See all the nice white. There's also a lot of variations of these. They come in greenback also. Now the greenback ones sell for a lot more than the white cotton thread. And you can get them in all different kinds. You know, they got OD borders on them and just so many. You can buy patches anywhere between $3 to $4 for a nice World War II one, up to several $100s for a patch. Now these are U.S. Navy ratings. See the white thread in there. Now to tell the difference, this here has a marl edge, and it's not cut back, and it's got like the glossy looking back, and this here is a little tail, that little part there. If you ever come across the patch with that tail on it with a marrow edge, it is not World War II. It is post-war. So that's how to tell the difference between a World War II patch and a regular patch. All right, here's the World War II campaign medals. Let me get my glasses here. This here, the European, African, Middle Eastern campaign, and it's got 3 stars on it, which the guy that owned that participated in 3 campaigns. United States of America, 1941 and 1943. This one here is the Asiatic Pacific campaign. Same thing, 41 to 43. This is the American Defense Medal. And this one here is a World War II Victory Medal. Everybody that was in the military during World War II, I think up to 1946, was eligible to receive the Victory Medal. Now the reason I'm showing these because these are real cheap to buy. You can get these anywhere between $6 to $8 without the blue box. They come in a blue presentation box. Now something else that's very inexpensive is dog tags. World War II ones had the little notch right there. And got his tetanus shot in 1943. O-pot. I think that's his blood type right there, O. These are the same thing. But I'm showing you a lot of stuff that you can buy inexpensively to start a collection. You can also pick these up. Not too bad of prices. A V21 marking on that. I believe that one's post-war. But this here is that there's a paratrooper set of wings. Anybody ever watched Band of Brothers? That's what they would have qualified to wear. And this here is a glider badge. But that's a nice World War II one. Mark Sterling on the back. Right there, you can see it pretty nice. Now another thing that's kind of inexpensive to buy is World War II coins. This one here you can get as a set. And it's got the steel penny in it. It's got a nickel and the mercury dime. And here's 3 different separate steel pennies. They was only made in 1943. And also they made 40 of them in 1944. If you ever come across a steel penny dated 1944, you hit the jackpot because they are really valuable. And here's pennies made out of shell casings. Let's see, these are you can get stuff like this on eBay or your local coin store. They're pretty fun to collect. Now there's a lot of field gear out there you can collect that's relatively not expensive. Like for instance, canteens, you can pick these up for like $10 a piece. That shows this one's dated 1944, US marked, and there's the maker mark on it, MA Company. Also the cups. There's different varieties of them. They just come down like that, and there's a little locking mechanism right there. And put your coffee in there. And then on the handle, this one's US 1943 dated. Here's the canteen cover. Has US on the front of it. You turn it over. A lot of them are marked on the back and dated. Maker mark, and 1943 on that one. And they all fit together. Like that. And then these here are first aid pouches that go on a pistol belt or the cartridge belt. It says up here, U.S. government. Those are the World War II ones. World War I ones, they would either have U.S. Navy up there or U.S. Army. But this is an original one from World War II that's been unopened. To open it up, you know, just pull this tab and go around like that. It has a bandage and a little pack in there to clean the wound. And on the back, this was 1940. You can get these pretty well cheap also. And then pistol belts, U.S. marked. And then on the inside somewhere, they'll be dated. Right there, 1942. This snap right here is for the 45 pouch. 45 pouch will go over top that, and inside it'll have a snap there, and it'll snap in place. And also, still fairly reasonable as the T-handled shovel. This is an early war one. Later on in the war, they come out with what is called the entrenching tool. It would have, right here, it would have like a screw tab to it. You unlock it, and the head of the shovel will fold backwards, and you can lock it into place. Something else is really inexpensive, garrison caps. These usually go for about $5 a piece at the shows. And this is Army Air Corps. You can tell by the piping. Each, like special, well, like the infantry would have been all blue. And it'll tell you in them reference books what the pipings are for. This one's still got the original tag in it. And then the cartridge belt. This is for the M1 Garand. Has 5 pockets. And inside it would have the date. This one's dated 1942. And on the outside, it'll have US right there. Now, if you're collecting the Marine Corps stuff, the Marine Corps did not mark their with the US. Theirs was marked inside. Right here would have said USMC, and over here would have had Boit, and then the date on it. Now, something else is really cheap too, are these mess kits. They'll be dated right here. This one's dated 1945. Just lift the handle up. And there's your, for eating, put your food, 2 different slots there. And then you'll have a mess kit, a knife, fork, and a spoon. And also some of these knives are Bakelite handles. You can see this one's dated right here, 1945. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're pretty nice. The whole handle is Bakelite. And something else is fairly cheap when you're first starting out is the battle dressings. These are a couple dollars a piece. Some are dated and some are not. This one's September 1944. And this one's dated 1943. All right, something else that you can buy fairly cheap at shows are ribbons. And you notice the difference on this one. This is a 1/2 inch, and this is a 1/4 inch. The Navy and the Marine Corps went with 1/2 inch by a company. It was, I forget the company right now, but anyway, you can still buy ribbons for like $1 a piece. Like the Silver Star, they're going to be a little bit more expensive. Purple Heart. But this is some of the stuff you can pick up at shows really cheaply if you're just starting out. And something else too is these phrase books. This is a French phrase book. All the soldiers on the landing barges and on the ships prior to D-Day would have been issued one of these. Just tells all about names and letters and road signs and how to pronounce stuff. I only know one French word. That's a wee wee. That's when you got to go to the bathroom. Something else you can buy really cheaply here is dummy hand grenades. You can buy these at gun shows or military shows for like $10 or $15 a piece. Just make sure they have the hole in the bottom. That way you won't get in trouble. They're usually not painted. I painted this one OD and put the high explosive yellow band on it. Now this one here, since it's all blue, that means it's a dummy practice one. And yellow, the United States painted all their grenades yellow prior to the war and used them early into the war, like 1942 and 43. And that was a bad idea because they can spot these a long way away. So what they did, they painted them all OD, and then they left the yellow band up there. Yellow meant high explosive. So that's something else you can add to your collection for relatively cheaply. And I forgot to show you this when I show you the money. This here's a Hawaii bill. You can see Hawaii right there and right there, and it's stamped on the back Hawaii in big bold black letters. And apparently they did this and they was just in case the Japanese would invade Hawaii, they would recognize the US currency a lot faster. Sounds silly, but that's what it said on Google. And something else here. If you want something else you can collect for a couple dollars a piece here, or ranks: Major, Lieutenant Colonel, Bird Colonel, and Captain. Now on the back here, see that they call that the snowflake. And that was a World War II, definitely a World War II issue one. When you see that snowflake pattern on there, definitely World War II. See, there's a set of them. This one's a little darker. But yeah, you can buy those probably like $10 a set. Something else too, chevrons. Yeah, you can buy these for just a couple dollars a set. $5 to $10 a set. That's a corporal set. A staff sergeant. It's got like the silver on it, and that one there is for the khaki. And late 30s and very early 40s, this set here was a master sergeant, and it's wool on wool. Everything on here is wool. It's got the nice backing to it. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you about chevrons is if you ever want to buy a Marine Corps chevron and you see the crossed rifles on them, and you only collect World War II, do not buy these. The Marine Corps added the crossed rifles in 1958, I believe it was. So this is a modern day set. I just wanted to show you. And now for World War II helmets. I bought this off a friend of mine not too long ago. You can see it's a front seam. This outer seam right here goes all the way around the helmet. And if it's up front where the cut is, where the two pieces join, that's called front seam. That's a World War II issue. And later on, they put them in the back here. They called that the rear seam. And this one here is a fixed veil. It's just like a U shape that was soldered or welded right onto the helmet. And as you can see, my helmet strap is in rough shape, but nice one. And down in here is the heat stamp. There is that number right there. You can see it. It's 599D, which this helmet would have been manufactured in August of 1943. That's why I tell you to get reference books. You can look all this. All right, that's it for US stuff. I just wanted to do a video on if you don't have much money or you're just getting started. I just wanted to show you what's out there, what you can buy at a reasonable price. Now, this video is in 3 parts. That was the US part. Part 2, I'm going to show you some German stuff. And the third part, I'm going to show you some Japanese from World War II. But all 3 parts are going to be on this same video. So let me take a break and dig out some German stuff. Okay, here's the second part of this video. It's German stuff, which you can maybe afford, maybe not. But German stuff has been going through the roof within the last 2 years. But like I say, invest in reference books. This one's on uniforms and insignias of the Luftwaffe, which is the Air Force. It'll tell you what the insignias are, what the shoulder board ranks are. And this one here, Kriegsmarine, Uniforms and Traditions. A lot of these books you can't buy anymore. They're out of print. But it shows the daggers, the bayonets, pistols, everything. Specialty badges, uniforms. Know what you're buying before you buy. And here's Angola's book on the Hitler Youth. This is a very nice book. It's 2 volumes. I have both volumes. It lists in there the uniforms, specialty badges, hats, daggers, belt buckles, shoulder boards, and specialty ranks. And this here, orders and decorations, medals, badges of the Third Reich. David Littlejohn and Colonel C.M. Dodkins. I think this came out in like the 1970s. Let's see here. 68. It lists all, it's a good book when it come out. Lists all the real high awards and not so high awards. Party badges, tinnies, stick pins, Iron Cross. There's the German Cross. Wound badges. Well, that's something else. It's, if you can pick up black wound badges for maybe $30, that'd be nice to add to your collection. But and here's Here's a War Merit Cross 3rd class with the ribbon, without the swords. They're really cheap. They're 25, 30 bucks. All right, let me show you what I got here. Maybe you can afford. All right, these are specialty badges of the Luftwaffe. Some Army in there. Some tinnies. You can buy the very common tinnies still for 15, 20 bucks a piece. And over here, got a bunch of specialty badges of the Kriegsmarine, which is Navy. And there's another tinny. Some of these are metal, and most of them are cloth. Some ribbons. And something else you might be able to afford would be the dress bayonet. These go for about 150 bucks. Got a nice blade on them. This one's unmarked. And something else you can pick up reasonably cheap, belt buckles. You can get those for around $100, $125. And then the Luftwaffe collar tabs. And something else, pictures. This is kind of stuff. It's not, nothing exciting, but it is something that the people can afford right now. This stuff keeps going up every year, so I advise you, if you can afford it. Also, you can get like a party armband for around $150 range, but there ain't hardly anything anymore that you can buy cheap when you're buying anything to deal with the Third Reich anymore. Like I say, that stuff's just going up every single year. The average cost of a helmet right now is roughly $600. Uniforms are $1,500 plus. Just getting out of hand anymore. And for you new collectors coming into business, in the hobby right now, you probably won't be able to get that stuff until you get a good paying job and you can afford it. So that's it for the German stuff. Now, let me show you some Japanese stuff. All right, here's my Japanese section of this video. Once again, reference books, people. Buy your reference books. These are 2 real good books on Japanese Army and Navy uniforms and equipment. Unfortunately, this one here is all written in Japanese. But it lists all the equipment here. Uniforms, helmets, shirts, holsters, equipment, personal equipment, badges, fans, paper fans, and the stuff that goes bang bang. All right, there's that one. That's book number 2. I got the first one also. Here's another real good one. Imperial Japanese. And this got all English in it. List color tabs, the ranks, overcoats, uniforms, footwear, hats, cartridge belts, canteens, coats, shirts, cavalry equipment, and explosives, grenades and mortar rounds. Here's a Jap grenade made out of ceramic. All right, instead of getting some Japanese stuff out, I'm going to just take you downstairs and show you what I have in my cases. All right, like I say, I'm going to show you stuff that you probably can afford. Like the Japanese bayonets, money, occupation money, a hand grenade. They're getting up there in price too. Gas mask. And this here is a binocular case. And that canteen in the center, that's for officers. And then Japanese flag. All right, here's a Japanese map case. Here's a last ditch bayonet. And silk flag. Uniform. Here we got a sake bottle with a sake cup. More map cases, another sake cup. And these samurai swords, they're super expensive. And then the helmets are getting way up there too. So and here's a nice pair of pooties. They're marked. And you can get, pins at a fairly decent price anymore. Now right here I got two different silk flags. They're real small. Got a stick to them. They use these probably for parades, for the bystanders to wave. There's an original picture of two Japanese soldiers. All right, you might want to know where I got everything from. I've been collecting for almost 50 years now. Used to go to yard sales, antique shops, eBay. I bought a lot of stuff off eBay over the last 20 years. Let's see, auctions, Facebook Marketplace is a good place. And there's groups on Facebook too that sells pretty much anything you want. And just look around. You'll find some cheap stuff. And there's a lot of military collectible shows you can go to. And you can also bargain with the people. Now, one thing I want to mention, if you're buying German stuff, and if you buy it from a dealer, make sure that dealer gives you a lifetime guarantee on it. If not, walk away, don't buy it. A lot of German stuff out there is fake. You gotta trust who you're buying from. And remember, reference books. Make sure you buy reference books. All right, that'll do it for my video today. If you like it, please hit the like button, ring that notification bell, and please subscribe to my channel. To them, we'll see you on the next video. I hope this video was helpful to the brand new people that want to get in this hobby. And once you get in this hobby, it's like a sickness. You're not going to get out of it. Like I've been saying, I've been doing it for 50 years. There's times I wanted to sell everything, but I just can't sell it. So, all right. Next video, I hope to get back into my German stuff to show you. All right. Have a good day.